I never planned to become the kid who knows the school better than the teachers do. I didn't mean to memorize the timing of the hallway lights, or which stairwell echoes the loudest, or which locker slams even when nobody touches it. It just happened. I stayed late for newspaper layout, then late for theater tech, then early mornings in the library because the printer in the English wing never worked. If you spend enough time inside a building, it becomes a body. You learn its bones, its joints. You learn the tiny sounds it makes when it settles. You learn how it breathes when the hallways are full, and how it goes still when they're empty. I'm telling you this because I felt it first. Not fear, not suspicion, just a shift. Like a dog lifting its head before you hear thunder. I felt the school change, and then people started dying.
It was a Tuesday morning. I was in the library at sunrise, copying deadlines onto sticky notes. No overheads on, just the lamps, warm circles of light on wood, the HVAC humming like usual. Then the intercom clicked. A single, sharp pop. No announcement, no static, just someone pressing the button and letting go. I stared at the speaker for a second, waiting. Nothing. 30 seconds later, it clicked again. Short, urgent. I looked around the empty room, just me and the dust drifting in the air. I told myself it was a loose wire, but then something metallic clattered outside the library, hard, heavy, like a locker door slamming, but not quite. I walked to the doorway and peeked out. Empty hallway. Morning light reflecting on the floor. No students, no teachers, nothing moving. I shrugged it off, but it didn't shrug me off. By lunch, the rumors started. A freshman fainted in the bathroom. Blood on the tiles, someone said. Security checking IDs like it was an airport. Someone else heard crying through the vents. Normally, this would sound like the usual garbage people make up, except every story lined up with something I'd seen or heard. The bathroom thing happened exactly when the intercom clicked. The crying matched the time I heard metal outside the library. Teachers were on edge too, checking the doors, watching the hallways. The school felt tense, like it was bracing for something. None of us knew what it was.
That Thursday, I was in the theater shop sanding set pieces until almost 8. Everyone else left early. I headed out alone. The hallways after dark looked different. Too long, too quiet. Every sound travels forever. As I passed the math wing, I heard footsteps behind me. Slow, heavy. I turned around. Nobody. So I walked again. Footsteps followed, matching my pace. I stopped. They stopped. I forced myself to keep moving. The exit wasn't far. When I got outside, I told myself it was echo, old floors, bad acoustics. But deep down, I knew the school wasn't empty. Someone else had been there. The next morning, everything broke open. Coach Alvarez didn't show up for morning weights. Someone found his office open, lights on, chair knocked over. By third period, police were on campus. Kids were texting nonstop, screens lighting up like a blue sea. I saw the stretcher before anyone confirmed it, sheet over a shape, way too still to be unconscious. Whispers flew.
During lunch, I watched security scan every person walking into the cafeteria. Not quick glances, full checks, asking names, asking what class they came from. But here's the weird part. They weren't looking out. They were looking in for someone who was already inside. I asked one of the guards what happened. He didn't answer. He just said, "Stay with your class. Don't wander." I'd never seen a grown man look shaken in a school building before. That was the first time. After school, I stayed behind again. I shouldn't have. But curiosity is a stupid kind of bravery. Around 6 p.m., I heard it, a shuffle inside the wall, right behind the newspaper room. Not above, not below, inside. I froze, listened. Something crawled along the metal, slow, deliberate, like someone using their elbows to drag themselves through the vents. Then a soft, low thud, like a body shifting weight. I backed up. This wasn't pipes. Pipes don't move that way. Pipes don't breathe. I packed my stuff and left, fast. The next day, something new happened. A hallway appeared that shouldn't exist. Between the English wing and the office, there's a locked storage room. Always locked. Used for old furniture. But that morning the door was open. Behind it wasn't storage. It was a hallway. Long, dark, unlit, smelling like dust and old concrete. No tiles, just raw floor and bare pipes. I took 2 steps inside. The lights behind me flickered. Then something metallic slid deeper in the dark, like a vent cover being moved by hand. My stomach dropped. This wasn't a new hallway. It was an access tunnel, one maintenance never talked about, and someone was using it. I backed out, closed the door, and the latch clicked on its own. Monday morning, the school banned backpacks. Teachers searched lockers, announcements every hour. Someone found blood near the auditorium loading dock. Rumors said it was the chemistry teacher, Mr. Went. He didn't show up for class. They evacuated the science wing for cleaning. Nobody believed that. Police cars lined the front drive. Kids cried in the hallways. Parents tried to pull their kids out, but the school locked down. Every door that led outside was guarded. Every door except one. The basement access door behind the cafeteria. Nobody ever thinks about it, except custodians and someone else. I checked it during last period. The lock was broken, snapped clean,
not picked, broken. The air inside the stairwell was warm, stale, like someone had been living there. When I reached the bottom, I found what nobody else had seen. Sleeping bags, food wrappers, a phone without a SIM card, a notebook full of names, student names, teacher names, crossed out one by one. Coach Alvarez, Mr. Went, 3 students I recognized, but hadn't seen for a few days. The last name on the list wasn't crossed out. It was mine.
Before I could run, I heard footsteps on the stairs above. Slow, careful, knowing. I ducked behind a boiler tank, held my breath. The footsteps reached the concrete, stopped. Someone exhaled, low, steady, controlled, not panicked. He walked deeper into the basement, boots scraping, dragging something metal behind him. When he turned, I saw the beam of a flashlight sweep past the boiler, then back. I pressed myself into the cold metal. The beam paused right on my hiding spot. Then it moved on. He walked farther, giving me one chance. I took it. I ran up the stairs 2 at a time. Behind me, something metal dropped loudly. A tool? A weapon? I didn't look back. I sprinted into the cafeteria hallway and crashed straight into a teacher. They asked what I was doing down there. I couldn't even speak. I just pointed, over and over. They called the police. The school emptied out faster than I've ever seen. They found signs of living down there. They found the notebook, but the killer? Gone. The tunnels behind the storage room led outside. He slipped through before they locked the place down. For months they searched. Nothing. Some people think it was a homeless guy. Some think it was an ex-student. Some think it was a staff member who knew the layout. I don't know. I don't think anyone will. But one thing stays with me. My name had a date next to it. The day I discovered the basement. I wasn't supposed to survive.